The Flow Friday Night Sports Show continues on, and our look at netball continues with it. We're about to now have a look at around mid-north and northern areas, that mid-north area and Yorke Peninsula as well, Flowman, for what's been going on in netball there. Lots happening through the week. Yeah,
Yorke Peninsula, some good games last weekend. Kadina way too good for Butte in the netty, 79-50. In the footy, they had a draw.
They did,
We're going to talk about that a bit later on. What about the Southern Eagles went down to the CMS Crows, 39-31. And what about this result?
Oof.
The Central Yorke Cougars 91 to Wallaroo 18. That is one of the biggest margins. I think the biggest score we've called all year.
That's as big a building as you'll see in netball. And Moonta and Ardrossan made up for it. They had a tightish clash, 8 goals in it at the end, and it was Moonta winning 45-38. But wow, what about that? Geez, Central Yorke Cougars. Coming up this weekend, some interesting matches as well, Flowman.
Yeah, Ardrossan and Kadina is going to be good. Yep.
And we've got Moonta taking on the Southern Eagles. Tough one to tip both of those, Ardrossan and Moonta for me. And
I reckon Central Yorke Cougars should get over past Giville, and then I reckon Butte should get over Wallaroo.
I agree. That's Yorke Peninsula done and dusted. And let's go to Northeastern now, and let's have a look at A1 matches from last week. Blythe Snowtown took on Minman, beat them 47-42. Flowman. BSR had a 3-goal win over Yidunda Robertstown, and RSMU 62 over North Clare 47. So some pretty tight matches there.
And if you remember the 3-goal win in the netball, it was a drawn game in the footy. And a bit later on, we got the man who's right on it, Peter Meyer, who's going to tell us how that draw happened in the footy. But in the netty side of it, girls, got really close. Yidunda Robertstown down by 3 goals, and that was a bit of an upset, puts those two sides very close on the ladder.
RSMU, Yidunda Robertstown, BSR and Blythe Snowtown, they are the top 4 in that order, with RSMU not having lost a game yet. South Clare just nipping at the heels of 3rd and 4th on the ladder. They're around the mark. They're in 5th. Minman back with only the 1 win for the year. 6th on the ladder. North Clare bottom of the ladder. Northern areas netball next. And last weekend's matches, Orroroo, good win over Southern Flinders, 54-42. In the footy here, just 1 goal in it, Flowman. How about that?
Wasn't a good game,
too. 1 goal, 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, it was a very good game, I reckon. Broughton Mundura won their game in netball, 74-31 over BMW. That's a big win. And Jamestown Peterborough, they're having a great season in the netty, 57 to Crystal Brook, 36-2. I wish they could go over to the football oval and say, come on, fellas, can you do what us netty girls are doing?
Well, thankfully, the footy boys are starting to improve. Spoke with the great Graham Spud Mackay, and you can check out our podcast of that. It's up wherever you get your podcasts from. And he mentioned that Jamestown Peterborough boys kicked 6 goals on the weekend against one of the top sides.
It's an improvement, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Crystal Brook, I believe it was.
This is the netty report. We've got games to come from this one. BMW play Orroroo. This will be a beauty up there at Lionesses Courts at Melrose. Jamestown Peterborough play Broughton Mundura. You'd reckon the Maggie girls can do it. Southern Flinders get Crystal Brook at Laura.
Ooh, tough one, that one. But we'll move on to Barossa, Light and Gawler. Some interesting matches last week. Barossa District 58, Anguston just 36. Following on in the boys' footsteps there. Gawler Central 63, Williston 46, Kapunda. Big win for the Bombers, 72 over Tanunda 28. And South Gawler, a very good win for them, 56 over Nuriut Pa, just 35. A quick look at the ladder sees Barossa District undefeated on top. Gawler Central in second, South Gawler third, and Kapunda making up the top 4. Flowman.
They've often put a gap there too between that top 4 and the next group. Anguston next after that with the 4 wins. Kapunda 6. Kapunda at the moment, the form side with South, I think, in this competition. Barossa haven't lost either. So those 3 sides we're watching closely.
Yes, we are. And if we have a look to this week's round of matches, Freeling, Gawler Central win that, Flowman.
I think so. The big clash, Newry and Barossa Districts, will still tip Barossa, but this is the game that just watch closely. Newry at home can be very tough. The girls in the black and gold.
The Lionesses of South Gawler will travel to Tanunda and beat them.
Yep, they will. Williston and Kapunda. This is going to be Kapunda. This is a chance to put a lot of distance, and there's a lot of old rivalry going on between these two sides, which are very strong clubs back 6-7 years ago. Kapunda have kept that strength. Williston have dropped down the ladder.
Indeed. Now, we finish off with Adelaide Plains. A1 matches from last week. How about this? Hamley Bridge, 52. Long Plains, 31. The match of the round was Balaclava getting over the top of Malala, 46-42. And Hummocks, 58 over Two Wells, 26. Flowman, that changes the complexion of the ladder quite considerably.
Yeah, well, the Hummocks at the top. They've got their home court at Lockhill this weekend. We'll look at that in a moment. Balaclava in second. It's 8 wins to Hummocks, haven't lost. Balaclava 5-3. Then Virginia 3-1 in a draw. Hamley 3-1 in that draw. And then Malala just outside of the 4. And this is going to be interesting to see what they can do from here to get back in there.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's have a look at this week's matches. Balaclava and Hamley Bridge, important game. Balaclava, Flowman?
Yeah, I think so. Hummocks get Malala.
Ooh.
Let me tell you, at Lockhill, this is the first time they've used the Lockhill court this year because they play the other games at Port Wakefield.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. Hummocks to win.
Hummocks for mine too. Two Wells and Virginia. I'm not sure about this one, Flowman.
Yeah, look, I think you've two very evenly matched sides here and go down to the wide Virginia just.
Yep, and that's a wrap for that round of A1 matches there. And a good look at what's happening around the north of the state in terms of netball. Flowman, we're going to head south in a moment. In fact, before we go right down to the southeast, we'll have a look at Mallee netball with Nicole McMahon. I reckon her team had a big win on the weekend.
She would be happy about it. Over Pinaroo, they're always happy when they beat the Pinaroo girls. And I was out there actually and about at the Oval covering the football side too, which we've got a bit later on.
All right, let's get back into it. It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.